Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!
Well, hello there. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Why is this like this? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller. Sorry about yesterday. You guys know how Mondays are for me. I'm always got like busies and live streams and stuff like that. Busies. I'm busy because I have meetings and live streams and blah, 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 blah. I just could not squeeze it. Oh, yeah, and then dropping off kids at school. Mondays, always. And then my mom's always on a Monday. My mom's like, "Oh, could you do this thing for me?" I'm like, "Mom, it's Monday. Can you just come over on Tuesday, please? Not on Monday." Is Mike wearing a coat? Yeah. Well, it's a sweatshirt with all the nice. You can't see the fuzzy. I don't know what this is. I don't know how they make this like weird, like poofy material. Something I've never researched, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's go say hi to who's here since I am getting started a little bit late. What's up, Tina? Tina, Arlene, Pranvat Gulati. Hello. Let's go. No super chats. What are you, gay? No, I'm not gay. This channel's not monetized. I don't know if it ever will be. DJ Peterson, what's up? Salutations to you as well. Arlene, hello, hello. Drake, Tungsten, hello. Sherpa. Is that what it's called? Sherpa? This is Sherpa? Whatever. It's nice and warm. I like it. Yeah, I don't even know how it is outside. It's windy. I can see that it's windy, but the sky is blue, so it might be warm outside, but the house is still cold from last night. So, hi, DH. Devil's Air says, hello, mentally mangled, mongreled mutts. Devil's Air, if you're going to try to insult us in English, please learn the spelling of the words you're trying to insult us with. It must be 68 degrees in San Diego. Is it? I don't know. Let me see. Let's check the temperature. Oh, by the way, look what I did to my phone case. That's right. I took my stickers and I put the inlay even in this little divot. Why? Why you are? Oh, it's upside down. Because my wife has a similar phone case, and I thought she was confusing my phone case with hers. So it's not the exact same phone case. Let's check and see. Today's episode, Job 8, with friends like these, which is a very strange. 61 degrees right now in my neck of San Diego. I've got a friend, some of you may know, and he's going through a situation much like I went through 5 years ago. And no, not everything I'm saying is going to rhyme, but one or two verses more this time. That was terrible. I'm not a rapper like the friend I'm referring to. That's cool. I like it. I guess it is a little, and it's got my Geeks and Gamers from the almost time I was a Geeks and Gamers guy. Remember that? Jeremy announced that I was going to be joining the Geeks and Gamers channel. And then, well, first of all, he said he was going to help me figure out how to do my videos. I was trying to do my own shtick. I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do like a news show with jokes. And I thought it was funny, but I think he just wanted that maintain, because they all kind of do the same shtick over there, where they pick a thing and then they bitch about it, and whatever. But that's not really my shtick. So I don't know if I would have fit in over there, but he wanted me there just because of who I am, and then that didn't work out. But it's all good in the hood. I was joking because Mike had a hoodie on and totally jealous of your weather. 68 degrees, 36 more degrees, and water's going to freeze. I know. Isn't that madness? Madness. I remember. What is that? Is that an otter? What is that? I think that's an otter. I can't really tell. What was I even talking about? Sorry, I just got out of bed. You guys know I'm a late nighter, so I stay up and I try to get to sleep, by 3 so I can get up at 11 and prepare myself to do this show, which I clearly... Now there's something in my hair. What the heck is that? Sorry, this is not the most professional of episodes. And look, I didn't even cover my door. This Tuesday is starting to feel like a Monday, if you know what I'm saying. Idea: bi-monthly Mike Argues live stream. Argues with who? Otter, not related. Yeah, so my friend Dan is going through kind of what I went through. Friggin' deja vu what I went through leaving a cult wherein I had a friend there. It was really the only other, you guys remember when I left, my whole crew left with me. All the really talented artists, they left with me, and most of them, they're still quote unquote with me, but even though some of them have to work or some of them are too busy to be on the stream or whatever, it's like they're like, yeah, that was ball honky. And then the majority of the Christians left with me too. I would say the true Bible believing born again Christians who actually knew what the hell was going on, and the real conservatives who aren't willing to put up with the kind of malarkey that was going on, they all left at the same time. So it really did divide. Not divide because we just left. I didn't go and then stay Comicsgate. I left Comicsgate. A lot of these people left with me. The unfortunate thing about what's going on with Dan is his guys read my mind about our exodus. The thing is, who stayed was one pro that I brought with me. I'm not even going to name his name. I brought a pro into CG. And then after my big hubbub, where I was afterwards targeted as the enemy of blah, blah, blah. I was watching his show and he said, I still like Mike. I'm still friends with Mike, but I'm afraid to go on his channel because I don't want to get CG mad at me. And look, on the one hand, on my idealistic heroic stand side of me, I was like, wow, that's freaking cowardice. On my pragmatic, realistic side of me, I'm like, I get it. I get it, and I wouldn't ever want anyone who is a friend of mine to risk their livelihood to stand with me on my moral principles. And I saw today, Dan posted he's no longer going to be on the professionals. He's had a chat with all those guys, and I think very much, look, I get it on the pragmatic, realistic side of me. A lot of these guys, they joined, which insta blacklisted them. I mean, I'm trying to not name any names, but I mean, you guys know who I'm friends with and who I talk to. But I know somebody he's been looking for work, and he has a what do you call it, an agent, and his agent was out looking for him for work, and he's like super stoked. And he's like, "There's no problem. Your freaking art is so awesome. You shouldn't be any problem at all getting you work." And he goes to a convention to talk to people, and it's still there. Wasn't he a part of Comicsgate? Freaking still blacklisted 5 years after he left. And so I get it. I very much get it for the other guys who they are wearing golden handcuffs and they now have golden muscles on because they can't stand up and do what they know is right, because they have families to feed and they have, bills to pay, mortgages to pay. And today's market is very difficult. And I totally get it. I totally get it from my practical, rational side of my brain. I'm not a practical, rational person, personally. Tina says, "I'm sorry, that's pathetic. You don't turn your back on your friends." That's how I think. I am incapable of putting up with that kind of stuff. So, and I don't want to, but I get it practically and rationally. I freaking get it. But Tina, you're right. I think I know who you're referring to. I was disappointed, but I also understand people have to pay bills. Right. You. And look, I had some very, very hard. I had a very, very difficult time after I left because, I lost 80% of my backers. And if these guys lose 80, they're freaking. I mean, you really rely on God at that point. But I'm reliant on God, whether I'm making a lot of money or no money. I have to rely on God, right? And honestly, it's like, when you're broke and you're trying to, get your next day's money to feed your kids, that's when you really rely on God. That's when you're really like, all right, day by day, Lord, just day by day, just take care of me day by day. And you're just remembering. And then when you have like hundreds of thousands of dollars just, sitting there and you can go buy whatever you want and do whatever you want, that reliance is easy to forget. I mean, you still have to rely on God, but it's so easy to forget when your coffers are full, right? And that stress is no longer there. So I don't know. Blessed are the poor. I know it's blessed are the poor in spirit, but I think people who it's always in the forefront of their mind that they have to daily rely on God for whatever it is. I think that does grow you closer. No, I'm not telling anybody to, give up 80% of their backers. A guy in his room. Appropriate title for today. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to. There's things I know. I did talk to some of these guys, and I don't want to betray any trust, but they know. They freaking know. And what they decide to do again is is up to them. Yes, this is in fact iced coffee. Yes, I'm wearing a sweater and I'm drinking iced coffee. I know it doesn't make any sense, but honestly, I like the iced coffee better than the hot coffee, so that's all it is. You endured a heck of a Schmidt storm, Mike. I know it's going to seem odd, but watching you cling to your faith definitely resonated with me. It was, and now, well, here's the thing: the good part about Dan. See, maybe this is part of it. Dan doesn't rely on making comics and backer money. Dan's got a real job. Dan's got a real job, and Dan gets paid real money, and so I don't think. I think he doesn't have to rely on. I guess that's the thing. He doesn't have to rely on that audience liking him, and perhaps I don't think he intended to go and I mean, honestly, all he did was go on there and say, "Can't we all just get along? Can't we just stop freaking stabbing each other? Can't we stop trying to destroy each other?" And the response was, "No, they must be destroyed." And Dan's like, "Oh, okay, throat goat." Thank you, Dark Admiral. I mean, the pandemic showed me that a lot of people are cowards. Most people. I discovered this. I like the story, but I hate telling the story because it sounds like I'm bragging. But this is, you guys know, I just can't. I can't not. How do I freaking tell the story without sounding? I discovered that people were cowards when I was a teenager. Gosh, was I 20 yet? I don't know. Late teens, early 20s. And I was at a Metallica concert. And, you know, Metallica had become popular. I guess it was the 80s. Metallica had become popular because, you know, when I was growing up, Metallica was like the garage band and blah, blah, blah. Metallica became popular. And so we were at a Metallica concert, me and my friends, and it was at the amphitheater? I'm trying to remember where it was. At Candlestick Park? I don't know. It was one of the big venues in the Bay Area back then. And I think maybe it was Candlestick Park. And man, there was this mosh pit. There was like three. I was looking down. It had to be Candlestick Park because I think I was in the bleachers when I looked down, and there was three freaking huge mosh pits just going on the floor in front of the stage. And so I went down to one of them, and we're just, you know, moshing. And and I noticed like one guy or like there was this, they got popular, so jocks started showing up at the you know, metalhead concert, and this jock was just like punching people from the side of the mosh pit as they came by. He was just punching people. Like, what is a mosh pit? Show a picture. Na, 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 na. Na, na, na. Let me get a good picture. Oh gosh, all these pictures don't really show. Well, here's kind of a good picture. Oh yeah, it's a video. Present, share screen. This is a mosh pit. So these mosh pits, I don't know, these guys are weird, but it goes in a circle. Like, I don't know how they do it nowadays, but back then it was like the mosh pits would go like in a counterclockwise circle of just people like just dancing, right? But like weird dancing, like metalhead dancing, not like line dancing. And so, anyways, this jock was punching people as they went by, to the point where this mosh pit just emptied out. People stopped moshing in this pit, and it was just a big empty circle in the middle of Candlestick Park, in a crowd like that, like I just showed you, this big crowd. And I look over, and I'm on one side of the pit, and then I look over, and this freaking jock is just wailing on this like 98-pound weakling in his little, Van Halen shirt or whatever it was. And I look to my left and I look to my right, and everyone's just watching. And I'm like, nobody is helping this guy. I didn't like sit there and think about it. I just looked to the left and I looked to the right, and no one is helping. And so I ran across the pit. I did a flying sidekick into this jock's head, and then I'm a martial artist. So, and then I dropped back, and I'm like, come on, like you and me. And then his like 3 or 4 friends attacked me from behind and knocked me on the ground and started kicking the crap out of me. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is I looked around at hundreds of people, probably hundreds, right? Maybe dozens, just sitting there staring, watching a kid get beat up by a guy twice his size. And it was that time. That was when I realized most people are freaking cowards. That's just what it is. Most people won't lift a finger to help another person. The thought counts. It was the action that counted. Nobody else thought it. Well, maybe everyone else did think it, but they didn't do anything. They were just, Yo, student of God, did you change your name? Saved a kid from a mosh pit, broke my foot in 3 places, multiple fractures, and the kid gave me the bird for my troubles. Well, here's the miracle. Okay. I don't know if this was an angel or not. You guys know this story. Some of you know this story. But in the midst of me getting the snot kicked out of me by probably, I would guess 5, possibly 6 jocks, after I kicked their friend, and like I got knocked to the ground and I was just getting pummeled. I mean, honestly, I think it was an angel. I don't know. I wasn't even a Christian at the time, but some hero, somehow ran through that crowd of jocks that was kicking the snot out of me, pulled me up by my, what was I wearing? I had to just be a t-shirt. Whatever. Somehow or another, he lifted me up to my feet and ran me through the crowd all the way to the other side of the stadium till we got to a wall. And like, and I'm like, thanks. And then he just freaking, no problem, disappeared into the crowd. I'm like, that's the hero in this story, right? Somebody, I don't know, I don't know how it's even possible that he did that when there's 4, 5, 6 guys kicking snot out of me on the ground. Somehow, I don't. It seems inhuman, doesn't it? That's the crazy part about that story. It's not me, kicking a guy. It's this. How does that happen? How does somebody just zoop, run me through the crowd to the other side of the stadium? That seems highly unlikely. And I didn't have a broken bone or anything. Right? Oh, I don't know. You guys think it was an angel? I mean, God could have been watching out for me even before I was one of his children. guy in his room, how are you managing to have hardly any gray hairs, Mike? Not fair. It's my mom. My mom's, and also going carnivore. I was looking at a video from me from 4 years ago, and I think I may have fewer grays now than I did then. I know certain people definitely have fewer grays than I did then, but I think going carnivore gave me back some of my dark hairs. But in general, it's my mom. My mom, I mean, you can see. There's one. My mom, she's 80. She'll be 85 this year, and she's got less gray hairs than most 40-year-olds. She's so yeah. I credit my mother's genetics. I'm 53, Arlene. Come on. Maybe that guy who saved you inspired you to save the mosh pit victim. But in reverse. How much did you weigh at the time? I was probably 170. Yeah. I think it was probably around 170. It started off well, Tina. What are you talking about, Tina? At one point, we were going to also have a colorist stream. I got invited, but wasn't comfortable with the way some people were treated. Okay. It's the Japanese in him, I think. Actually, my Auntie Masako, who's not actually related to me, but we always called her Auntie Masako. I think she's about my mom's age. White. All of her hair. White. Like Ronald McDonald wig, but white. Actually, I haven't even seen her for like 5 years, so even back then. It's possible, Mike. God has pulled my fat out of the fire despite being way off the path. Oh, yeah. That's not the only time. I mean, a bush in the middle of the... I don't want to tell this story. I got saved by a random bush in the middle of the... on Highway 101 after I did a 720 spinning across the highway. And if that bush wasn't there, I would have been 20 feet down a ravine dead. Yeah, before I was saved. God's been watching out for me. You know, it's weird. It's like he's outside of time and space. And even though I hadn't yet been a Christian, hadn't yet been adopted into the family of God, he was still watching out for me. Weird, huh? It's like God's outside of time and space. Joe says, once in a concert of Iron Maiden, front row, I was literally holding off 8 guys while my girl was enjoying the live without being pushed or squashed. Nice. He is half Japanese. Japanese don't age till 70 or 80. They look young till that time. It's a Japan thing. Well, I mean, my mom doesn't look. She's okay. I grant you, she's 80. She's 84. Oh, she's 85 today. I'm going to see her after the stream today. Well, happy birthday to Mama Tamazowski. Tamazowski. Mama Tamazowski. Trying to say it. Mama Tamazowski. Tell her happy birthday. But yeah, my mom, I mean, you wouldn't think she was in her 80s. She doesn't look like that. I think most people think she's probably in her 60s. Man, I see people my age who look, and it's like, I don't understand. Sorry, this is what 53 looks like to me. My wife looks young. And I see other people my age, and I look at them and I think, gosh, they look like they're 70 to me, but they're my age. So I don't know. I have a weird construct of how old a decade looks, but most people would not think my mom looks like she's 85. So as far as 40 years gold, I have more gray hair. There you go. Yep. All her hair is white. I don't. I mean, it's not a Japanese thing. Although you do see the Kung Fu Master. That's with all the long white. You gonna have Fraga on a draw stream? Ha 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 ha. I don't know. I talked to Dan, so it's not out of the question. I mean, he's been given the boot professionals. Got the boot from the professionals. That's kind of, we talked about that a little earlier. Now, when you laugh, you're saying your name. At ha 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 ha. What do you think the warriors of God on the fight for people in green pastures and sunny days there everywhere? Wait, what do you think the warriors of God on fight for in green pastures? A word is misplaced there somewhere, and it's like a speed bump in my brain. I can't understand. Ohio, Kirby, says a guy in his room. Ohio, Ohio, Kirby. Doesn't it say somewhere in the Bible that there are angels among us? Yes, it says that. I can't remember the exact phrase, but that you are entertaining angels unawares. I think it's like, treat everybody nice because you may be entertaining angels unawares. My hair just gets a little darker as I age. There's a little silver showing up, but it went from red to brown, and it's still getting darker. Wow, that's very interesting. Maybe you're having your diet has changed and you have more melanin. You're eating the minerals. Remember we had this stream about the sheep and the, when was it Jacob? That was Isaac. When Isaac put the bark and the wood in the water and the minerals, right? Added the melanin or activated the melanin. Maybe your diet has changed and whatever you're eating has the minerals necessary to engage your melanin. Entirely possible. Just wanted to mention that metalheads are some of the nicest guys despite the appearance. Actually, my mama's last name. Don't dox your mama. I wasn't born Tina Turner, but oh, that's funny. My son is 44, but is totally white. Yeah, Randy Green. My buddy Randy Green. He's totally white too. He's when I met him. Yeah, but he's older than me now. But when I met him, he was already going white, and that was like 30. I've known him as long as I've known like Dan and David and some of these guys, and he was already going white back then. And then like he went white early. Guy in his room. Interesting about carnivore. I was pretty against it because it seems too expensive. Also, I can't live without sweets, at least sometimes. I'm not like 100% strict carnivore. What I did with carnivore sort of allowed me to discover what were causing my chronic problems, right? So like I cut everything out, and then all my chronic problems I even healed my rotator cuff after 3 years of it just getting worse. I was carnivore, and like 6 weeks into my carnivore diet, I tried to reach for something, and then I was waiting for that pain shard to just slam me in the shoulder, and it wasn't there. And I'm like, what the heck? And so that I just discovered this stuff. So I know sugar causes a lot of problems and inflammation and all that stuff, and you don't want to have it as a regular part of your diet, but I'll eat some Swedish fish here and there. I have chocolate. I have creamer in my coffee. I didn't go carnivore to lose weight, although I did lose like 20 pounds. But using it as a way to discover what's causing all your problems, like the food you're eating, 95% of the time is probably what's causing whatever chronic illnesses you have. So going carnivore allows you to eliminate all of that stuff. And then if you want to test stuff, right? I didn't even mean to do this. This is just how it sort of happened. Like my arthritis went away. See my these fingers right here. I had arthritis. I couldn't bend my hand back like this, right? Without pain. And I went carnivore, it went away. Gone. Arthritis gone. And then I cheated one day with a couple tablespoons of mashed potatoes, and the next day, bam, arthritis was back. So automatic trigger. I don't know if it causes arthritis, but it inflamed my arthritis. And so now I don't, as much as I love potato chips and French fries and all things potato, that is one thing I'm not going to cheat with, right? I could go on, but this is not a carnivore show. Hebrews 13:2. I don't know what that's. Oh, is that the Entertaining Angels? Mike bought Angel Studios movies Sound of Freedom. Mike, bought. Going to watch this weekend for sure. Also, most of Angel Studios series are Bible stuff, but on movie they are making great stuff. Yeah, they're Mormons, aren't they? Isn't Angel Studios a Mormon thing? But at least they're doing good work. Okay, not being super strict on it makes sense. I get turned off by the black and white elemental mentality with dieting. Yeah, I'm just not that. I love food. I'm a foodie, and I try to maintain carnivore as much as possible. But now I know what causes problems, and so I know wheat causes me to snore, which means that wheat is causing me inflammation in other places. So it's not good for my body, but like I had a quesadilla last night. I'm not gonna be like, oh, wheat. I'll have some pizza now and then. I'm not strict carnivore, but I do want to avoid the things I used to just gorge on like spinach and broccoli and cauliflower, and it's not because like I thought it was healthy, it's because I love it. I love green vegetables. But I hate kidney stones, and so I only had one kidney stone. The last two, I used to have chronic kidney stones and I only had one kidney stone. A couple weeks ago I had one tiny little kidney stone, and I didn't even realize it until it was like on its way out. I had a little tingling sensation, but I didn't have like the all the stuff. All right, you know what? We should probably get to the Bible, shouldn't we? Let's get to King James Bible. King James Bible. Why am I choking again? Where is my book job? Chapter 8. Let's go. Sharing the screen. Bippity boppity boop. Job. King James Version. Let's see if we can get this to be the right dimensions. All right. I have a nice spanakopita here. Oh, Ben just went back to Macedonia. I wanted to say macadamia. Like, that's not the right word. I know it's not. No. Ben went back to Macedonia, so he will not be joining us for another cross-examination. Yes, you copy like a guillotine. Guillotine. So the one vegetable I like is bad on kidneys. Great. Yeah, okay. Spinach, because spinach has spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower. Most green leafy vegetables are high in oxalates, calcium oxalates collect together, and they cause kidney stones and gout and bone spurs, and they damage epithelial cells if there's too much in your bloodstream. So, I mean, everything. That's not to say I won't have a couple pieces of asparagus now and then. I might have a piece of broccoli, but I'm not going to indulge in that stuff the way I used to. And no, thank you. All right, Job chapter 8. Let's get a sip on and get our read on. Everything in moderation, except meat. Eat all the meat you want. All right. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, How long wilt thou speak these things, and how long shall the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind? Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away for their transgression, if thou wouldest seek unto God betimes, I don't know that word. God betimes. I can kind of speculate what it means, but I really want to just look it up. Blue Letter Bible. Job 8. I'm sure someone will look it up before I do. Sahar. Up at early at any task. Rise, seek diligently, early in the morning. Interesting. If thou wouldest seek unto God diligently early in the morning, betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou wert pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon the earth are a shadow. Shall not they teach thee, and tell thee, and utter words out of their heart? Can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water? Whilst it is yet in his greenness, and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. Keep in mind, this is not God speaking. This is the Shuhite. Whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web? He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. He is green before the sun, and his branch shooteth forth in his garden. His roots are wrapped around the heap, about the heap, and seeth the place of stones. If he destroy him from his place, then it shall deny him, saying, I have not seen thee. Behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth shall others grow. Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will he help the evil doers, till he fill thy mouth with laughing, and thy lips with rejoicing. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. I'm going to keep going because I want the response. Then Job answered and said, I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? Wisdom. If he will contend with him, he cannot answer him 1 of 1,000. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who hath hardened himself against him and hath prospered? Which removeth the mountains, and they know not, which overturneth them in his anger, which shaketh the earth, out of her place, and the pillars thereof tremble. Which commandeth the sun, and it riseth not, and sealeth up the stars, which alone spreadeth out the heavens, and treadeth upon the waves of the sea, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and the Pleiades. Isn't it the Pleiades? And Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. I know Chuck Missler would freaking go into this. I should have listened to Chuck Missler before I went through Job. He always has these great like nook and cranny revelations that he's just like he like digs deeply into the histories of, you know, and like how did he know about this kind of sort of thing. Anyways, which doth great things past finding out, yea, and wonders without number. Lo, he goeth by me, and I see him not. He passeth on also, but I perceive him not. Behold, he taketh away. Who can hinder him? Who will say unto him, what dost thou? What are you doing? If God will not withdraw his anger, the proud helpers do stoop under him. How much less shall I answer him, and choose out my words to reason with him? Whom, though I were righteous, yet would I not answer, but I would make supplication to my judge. If I had called and he had answered me, yet would I not believe that he had hearkened unto my voice. For he breaketh me with a tempest, and multiplieth my wounds without cause. He will not suffer me to take my breath, but filleth me with bitterness. If I speak of strength, lo, he is strong. And if of judgment, who shall set me a time to plead? If I justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I say I am perfect, it shall also prove me perverse. Though I were perfect, yet would I not know my soul. I would despise my life. This is one thing, therefore I said it. He destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. Truth. If the scourge slays suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. If the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where? And who is he? Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. They are passed away as the swift ships, as the eagle that hasteth to the prey. If I say I will forget my complaint, I will leave off my heaviness and comfort myself. I am afraid of all my sorrows. I know that thou wilt not hold me innocent. If I be wicked, why then labor I in vain? If I wash myself with snow water, and make my hands never so clean, yet shalt thou plunge me in the ditch, and mine own clothes shall abhor me. For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, and we should come together in judgment. Neither is there any daysman betwixt us, that might lay his hand upon us both. Daysman? 832. I'm going to look it up. Oh, I'm at 9. Next chapter. 32. For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer. Oh, 33. Derp. Daysman. Yaka. Reciprocal, to argue, causatively, to decide, justify, or convict. Appoint, argue, chasten. Wait, is that the right? Did I click the wrong one? No. I clicked the wrong one. No, wait. Daysman? That's not. Okay. To decide, judge, to adjudicate, to reason. That's weird. That word isn't. the word. That's So, daysman betwixt us. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grok this. Hold on a second. Hold up. Wait a minute. I know I'm out of time here, but I'm going to do this anyways because I am curious. Celebrity. Okay. Same translation style. Job 9:33. Let's see how the super deep meaning translation comes out. If only there were a mediator to stand between us, a bridge across the chasm, a voice to temper the storm, someone to lay a steadying hand upon us both, upon me, frail and faltering, and upon him, the boundless one whose might overwhelms, a daysman to hold the scales, to weave peace where dread and distance reign, for I am but dust before his thunder, and no arbiter rises to meet my plea. Wow. All right, so see, that turned this. I swear, if so, what I have Grok. I have a preset translational thing on Grok where I ask Grok is AI, by the way, to do a word for word and thought for thought translation from the original text, but using the deepest possible meaning of each individual word and translate it into a readable prose. So that's what I got. I got like a paragraph from one verse. If I translated the entire Bible that way, it would probably be like this thick. But I love doing it because it's such a great read. You get so much more. It's like instead of like looking up each word and seeing what all the deepest meaning of each word is, it's like it just lays it out in this cool prose. I've found that to be invaluably interesting and deep. All right, let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fear terrify me. Then would I speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. Job. All right. Arbiter or advocate. Yeah, it's just funny that the word, at least in Strong's, wasn't connecting. It was like, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, and I don't have time to really dig that deep into it. So, all right. That's that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. Whoa. Gosh darn. I was looking at the wrong clock. I still have time. All right. Yeah, man. I really enjoy translating with Grok that way. Again, neither is there any daysman betwixt us that might lay his hand upon us both, an arbiter, advocate. Except there is now, right? Jesus. Does that count? There's one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Boy, everyone hushed up. It hasn't said anything in the last 3 minutes. Let me scroll back up. Now they're talking about kidney stones and stuff. I don't really. Except corn. Corn tastes great. One vegetable egg. Is corn a vegetable? Still here, says DJ. Thanks. I know I could wrap it up early. I started late. That's why I was looking at the 1 o'clock and I'm like, oh gosh, I have to end at 1. And I'm like, oh, I'm 4 minutes earlier. And then I look at the live and I'm like, oh, I'm only 54 minutes into this. Wait a minute. Just listening and trying to learn is all. Yeah, it's funny because, the guy rebukes Job and saying all this stuff that is generally very true, right? And Job even comes out and says at the beginning, he's like, yeah, I know. That's literally that's the paraphrase of verse 2. I know it is so of a truth, but how should man be just with God? So it's like everything. What's his name? Belial? Not Belial. The Shuhite. I'll go back. Bildad, the Shuhite. Like he's saying the stuff he's saying is accurate. Does God pervert judgment? Does the Almighty pervert justice? If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away for their transgression, if thou would seek unto God betimes and make thy supplication to the Almighty, it's all the stuff he's saying. These are godly men, even if they're not right because of the particular situation. Doesn't make the particular situation the norm. Job is a very peculiar situation, right? In the same kind of sense that the Jews are a peculiar people. I have a kid in my Bible study who thinks that we still have to follow the laws, and I'm like, including the dietary laws, and it's like I'm like, we're studying Romans. Kid, it's very clear. And then I'm like, go to Acts 10. It's like, take, kill, eat, creeping, crawling things and unclean. Make not unclean that which I have cleansed. Right? Something cannot be cleansed if it's not unclean to begin with. So, like all this stuff, and where was I even going with that? I don't even know. It's been kind of driving me nuts. The 1-1 wouldn't make sense in English of next chapter. 1-1. Then Job answered and said, the 1-1? The 1-2. Oh, you mean that one word. It's a verb we translate to 2 to 3 words to indicate the judging or arbitration between parties. In Hebrew, there's only one word there for daysman and between. Right. Yeah, the 1-to-1 doesn't always make sense in English. That's again why I kind of like enjoy that the deepest meaning thing with Grok. It's really fun. I mean, you should try it if you have Grok. I mean, I'm sure you can do it on Chat GPT too. I just don't trust Chat GPT. It's I don't know. I think its data set is just run by communists or something. So the little guy was against pork too. Yeah, he's not little. He's actually, I mean, he's like 19. But yeah, he won't eat pepperoni pizza, and it's like, look, I'll buy you a cheese pizza, but I try, and it's like every week it comes up. And like last on Saturday we were like just talking about it for like after the Bible study. We just talked about it for like another hour, and it doesn't matter what I show him. He even got to the point where I was like, so if you were right, don't you think that? Well, I was reading the part where Paul gets mad at Peter. Why is Paul mad at Peter? And the Bible says because he was living as a Gentile. But then when his Jewish friends showed up, or when James, the brother of Christ, showed up, he started living as a Jew, which means, what does that mean? It's not like he went and got recircumcised. It means he was not following the laws. But when James wasn't there, he was back to hanging out with the Gentiles and living according to the Gentiles. And it's like, what does that mean? That means he was not. I mean, combine that with Acts 10, when Peter's told, take, kill, eat all the unclean. It's like, bro, you can't. And I'm like, so if the apostles were living as if the law is fulfilled, that's frankly what it is. and they were, I don't want to say living as Gentiles. I mean, the Bible says lives as Gentiles. So maybe they were living as Gentiles is the right way to phrase it. Then are you saying that the apostles were wrong? And he's like, maybe. I'm like, bro, you are way too stuck in your head about this, because he's focused on the one scripture where it says not one jot or one tittle shall pass from the law until all things are fulfilled. I should point out to him that all things were fulfilled in the crucifixion. Maybe. Anyways, all right, we're over an hour. I'd use Grok, but I don't have a Twitter account anymore. I think you can use Grok external to Twitter now. I'm not sure. You should look it up. But I think I heard something about that. I just never bothered because I'm on Twitter. So anyways, thank you all for being here. Hope you had a good time and learned something and didn't get too stuck up in nonsense interwebs drama. But that's what's going on in life right now. So God bless us all. Don't forget Friday night auction this Friday. If you care about original art and artists and want to support some of us guys, do that. Until then, we'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations.
Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!